Well, today we are looking at a Skoda in the what is classified as a small car class. But Alan, it's not small, and what is it?
It's very spacious. It is a 2021 Skoda Octavia. Octavia, David. Very strange name for a car. Skoda has some very strange naming regimes.
It also has a strange label and badge logo, doesn't it?
It does. It's a very small range. There's 4 models all up. The bottom 2 have the same 110 kilowatt engine. Then you move to a slightly more powerful station wagon and sedan, and then the RS version. They're crackers, and we've driven those before. But I think this is quite a nice compromise. Although I don't like using the word compromise because it makes it sound like it's a chore to drive, and it's actually a joy.
And it's in the same class as a Corolla and
Absolutely.
the i30. You would think that it actually feels quite big.
I really like this kind of semi-tiger-nosed grille. It just looks really strong. And these lights, and the matrix lights do this little dance to make sure that anyone standing in front of them or driving towards the front is left in a fainted pool of light. Everywhere else is still well lit. The thing that I particularly like is that all 4 door handles have the easy access so that you can lock and unlock the car. And when you walk up to it and you've got the key in your pocket, the doors will unlock for you. This is a really graceful interior. There's little blinds on the side and back windows. Fancy surfacing on the doors, and all of this is quite soft. Well, actually no, that's quite hard, but it just looks sensational. Inside there's a spot for a tablet, a phone, and a 3rd zone of climate control, which in a car for this price range I think is just extraordinary. The cup holders fold out of the centre console. And there's even a little mobile phone holder on the back of the seat so that you can watch a movie on a trip. A power tailgate. And this fastback look is actually a hatchback, which I really like. In typical Skoda style, there is bags of little extras in the back. Bag hooks, pull down bag hooks on both sides. There's not 1 but 2 cargo nets and a hard cover over top. And there's this little sling that you can put up to 3 kilos worth of stuff in. I'm not quite sure why you'd want to do that, but maybe some shopping bags. This is a lovely gentleman's cruiser. It's a touring car that you feel comfortable in. The fabric on the seats is beautiful.
It's a little bit of the elegant suit type of fabric,
Yeah,
isn't it?
you've got lovely fabric and textured materials and so forth. And the thoughtful touches, David, in Skoda continue once you press the button, which of course is on the side of the steering wheel in this car, to start. The digital dashboard sparks up. You've got drive modes. Would you like another drive mode?
Can I just say, I love the fact that this is showing me the cars around me. It's giving me confidence in the car.
So I put the gear lever into sport mode, but you also have sport mode up here on the dashboard, which I've heard you frankly sounding more impressed about.
So does that give me sporty information, or just that I can select it? Oh, it just gives me the choice to select normal.
Well, it's a Skoda 110. I'm not quite sure that it has sporty information.
That's normal. That's a bit wishy-washy.
Now, the interesting thing about this, of course, is this is semi-new Volkswagen Group interior. So it's got the little stubby gear lever, a la Golf 8 style, which I very much like.
It's a toggle switch.
It is a toggle switch. Now, would you like to activate your highway assist?
I'd love to.
All right, so if you would activate your cruise control for me.
This is this button here. There we go.
Right. Now,
Is that button then limiter?
So press that button and you'll see your travel assist is activated. That's the steering that we were talking about before, remember? And now it brings up a different diagram on the screen
Right.
showing the cars around you, and that's very Tesla style. It's giving you a distance to the car in front, it's showing up all the cars around you, and it's steering the car. Now, you were complaining in our i30N video about how this ping-ponged you down the freeway a bit, and I said it's because you didn't turn the system on. Now, did you press that button? I'm going to, there was a rhetorical question.
I was talking about the Volkswagen Passat.
Same difference, exactly the same system. You've got to still press that button, or travel assist won't activate.
The problem is there's buttons that do different things, and which is not surprising. But I've got
the one button doing everything that'll get very confusing.
Well, Tesla tries to give some sort of variation, but the point about it is there's not any standardisation. You've almost got to go back to university to learn how you've got to operate this particular vehicle.
Maybe, but it's very much in the same vein as the Hyundai Group activation, where you've got to activate the steering with a separate button. It's the same thing.
Yes.
But in that, you've got to do it because it's got a steering wheel on it. This has not got a steering wheel on it, so it's not really telling you the information you need to know.
Yeah.
And you need to know the information you need to know, but you don't need to know it until you need to know it.
And then again, there is information you know, and then there's information that you know that you don't know, and then there's information you don't know that you don't know.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Annoyingly, much of what we've been talking about is part of a pack. If you get the tech and luxury packs together, it's $7,800. If you were to get the things individually, it would be $13,200. You get things like electric leather seats, adaptive chassis control and head-up display, to name but a few. Unfortunately, all of that really cool stuff, including the USB-C in the rear-view mirror, is part of this pack. Now, poor old David didn't realise that by touching the brake, you turn the travel assist off, and that confused him no end.
Get into this lane.
So if I slow down, it turns it off?
Yeah, because it's tied up with the active cruise control.
Yes, of course. Okay, so
if you turn the cruise control off, you turn the system off, because it thinks that's what you wanted to do. Now, we're going around here at a brisk rate. It's soft, but it's...
Well, it's not as sharp as the last one, yet it's still good, isn't it? I mean...
Well, I think it's good enough to be comfortable, David. I want to be comfortable. Like I said, I don't want my insides, moved unnecessarily, because God knows there's enough of them. Over these rough bits of this tarmac, that ride is absolutely sensational. Absolutely good. Do you know what? I could sit in a very long trip in this.
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't go out of sport mode when you turn the car off. But it does go out of sync mode. So your air conditioning won't be synced. One thing we haven't spoken about, and I think this is pretty important, I've got a heads-up display.
Which the i30N didn't.
No. And the one thing that I've noticed is that this feels less intrusive than some of the cars we've driven, the active steering. It's doing it, but it's doing it with a bit more panache, a bit more style.
Well, it's like it's in control rather than desperately reacting.
Yeah.
It's not sort of frantic. I know people like that.
Absolutely right. The look of the cabin, I think, makes the ambience a little bit better as well. This has got the latest VW system with things mainly in the screen, but it's got a row of buttons down here as well, so that I can set the drive modes, the travel assist and so forth. My automated parking, for example, simple one button. This will go away and find a spot for me. Well, not without me being in the car, obviously. And I like that.
Yeah.
And you think for the price, you're going to be very hard put finding a car that will do what this will do for the price. David, I think Skoda is one of the most underrated brands in the country. It's common in Europe and common in the UK, but in Australia, it's just one of those underrated brands with all that fabulous stuff that is included.
It's almost understated in a way, yet when you look at it closely, you really see its depth and its detail that it's covered.
And its playfulness with all those inclusions. But that's it. That's your lot for the week. As always, hit like.
Leave a comment.
And just here in the middle, I think, to subscribe.